Your mind is limitless. The possibilities are endless. Awaken Your Mind Magic shows you how you can dream limitlessly and live your life on a new level. Susan Kathleen speaks with ordinary people who are living extraordinary lives using the power of their mind.
Silver on the outside, gold on the inside. Silver on the outside, gold on the inside. Silver on the outside.
Abundance, prosperity, and success. There are no limits to what you can dream. Join Susan Kathleen on a journey into your dreams, making a difference and living life on your own terms. This is Awaken Your Mind Magic.
Hello and welcome everyone. My guest speaker today is Mark Stephen Pooler, as seen on CBS News, Fox, NBC, and ABC. He's an international speaker, best-selling author, speaker coach, and a radio host. Also a press and public relations media specialist. He's a founder and editor-in-chief global media and news publisher of MSP News Global and founder of TMSP Agency, a premium media and PR agency. He's a radio host at Business Innovators radio network with Brilliance business show. Mark is the owner of his own business, Mark Stephen Pooler. He's a creative entrepreneur and has overcome the kind of adversity most people cannot even comprehend. Mark's taken the resilience from his past trauma and turned it around with true grit and inspirational determination to help others. He helps struggling entrepreneurs create a mindset and belief system that makes their dream for success a reality. This man is incredible. He inspires entrepreneurs to find and use their courage and strength to empower and lead themselves to success. And he helps speakers, coaches, and influencers to move forwards and gain credibility and authority, getting amazing results using public relations skills. Welcome, Mark. It's so good to have you here today. And thanks for taking time out from your busy schedule in the United Kingdom to speak with us on Awaken Your Mind Magic.
Hi, Susan, and it's an absolute pleasure to be here on your show today. I'm honoured that you've asked me to come on and share value with your audience and share my story. And thank you for such an incredible introduction.
Thank you, Mark. Well, you're such an incredible man. And you've got good news today because I read your post on Facebook. You've done so well. Tell us your story from where you were to today's story of what your latest news is as well.
I would be happy to, Susan. I was always the guy at school that got bullied about the way I looked and about my sexuality before I knew my own sexuality myself. Big chin, big ears, gay, queer, you name it, Susan, I was called it. I had low self-esteem, low self-confidence. I purposely left my primary school and went to a secondary school that no one from primary school was going to. And it was great at first. I didn't get bullied, but that didn't last long. Only the bullying was a lot worse. I remember running home from school one day and one of the hard boys in the class come and kicked me in my back for no reason. I remember having to run the 2 or 3 miles home. low self-esteem, low self-confidence, and I started to play up at school. My education suffered because I realised by making people laugh, it calmed down the bullying. So I left school before my 16th birthday with a really bad education. And I always joke, if you put all of my GCSE results together, they would spell the word fudge. That's how bad my education was. And that was when my drug taking started, Susan, at the age of 15. And it started with soft drugs to start with, things like cannabis and amphetamines. Now, saying that, I did start a career in hairdressing, which was great because it built up my confidence. It learnt me great customer service skills, how to deal with the public, and really learn some vital business skills. But also my social life started to take over. I'd go out drinking after work, and I started going out to nightclubs on a weekend. And slowly my drug taking started to increase. By the age of around 18, 19, I started to take stronger drugs. So my late teens, early 20s, my life had spiraled out of control. I was living a bad life and it was going nowhere. And I became addicted to crack cocaine and heroin. And that is rock bottom. So, age 21, I went on a party night out with friends. And I tried a new clubbing drug, having the time of my life in the club, 1 minute, partying, dancing away. The next minute, I woke up in hospital. I had just collapsed and died. Bruises all up my arms where adrenaline had been pumped into me to bring me back to life. A shaven chest where shock pads had been used on me to bring me back to life. My life was spiraling out of control. Now, a few days after that, Susan, you would think I had seen the light. I had just collapsed and died, but I actually carried on taking drugs. A few days after that, I was still living with my parents, and my mum caught me taking crack cocaine off a crack pipe in my bedroom. And she ran in the bedroom, grabbed the crack pipe off me, ran outside with it, chucked it down the drain. And she did one of the best things she could have ever have done for me. And that was to chuck me out of the family home. At the time, I didn't think it was one of the best things she had done for me, but it was. I moved away from the people that were dragging me down. You are like the people that you are closest to. I got removed from my associations, all the people that were dragging me down. And it really is true. People either lift you up or drag you down. I give up crack cocaine and heroin, Susan, by using the power of my mind, the power of thought. It's so important to think about the thoughts that you are putting into your mind. The mind is so, so powerful. If you have a look around at your environment at the moment, everything was created twice, and it was first created in the mind. That is the power of thought. And I like to share, to give a little bit of value to your audience, whatever you want to achieve in life, within reason, I believe you can truly achieve it. It starts by positive, empowering belief systems, which will lead to making better choices. And with repetition, you can create any reality that you would like to create. I like to share a little analogy of whatever you want to attract, become a street performer. If you imagine a street performer, they're on the streets playing their music with their violin or whatever instrument they're using. The crowds just walk past. No one takes any notice of them. But that street performer carries on regardless. And eventually one person stops, and then a crowd forms. Be the street performer. Play your own music. Focus inwards on your own goals, your own dreams, your own ambitions. Don't focus on your outside circumstances. Focus inwards. And eventually one person will stop, a crowd will form. What you have been focusing on will show up. It just takes a little bit of time and dedication. So I had moved out. I had given up the strong drugs. I did carry on taking softer drugs for a fair few years, Susan, because I was still going out partying, but I give up the strong class A drugs like crack cocaine and heroin. I carried on working in the hairdressing industry, and by the age of 25, I really started to grow up and I started to make better choices. I also read my first Law of Attraction book aged 21, and I did start practicing that and it did start to give improvements as well. By the age of 30, I had had enough of working in hair salons, making lots of money for other people and not making much money for myself. And I set up as a freelance hairstylist. I had a mortgage and I left a paid job and took the risk. Sometimes in life, you have to take risks. And I set up as a freelance hairdresser, and within a year I joined a network marketing company. This was the start of being a social media entrepreneur. It opened me up to building a network. I had 300 friends on Facebook. Now I'm maxed out and really built a great network. It learnt me the power of a network. It learnt me the power of branding, social media skills. I built my business over 2 years in network marketing. I built a team of 50, recruited into 6 different countries. But I realised I wasn't following my true passion. I used to watch the speakers on the stages at network marketing events, sharing their powerful stories. And I thought, I want to be a speaker. I've got a story that will help and inspire others. So I decided to, again, take a risk and leave network marketing and jump in the deep end to become a professional speaker. That was only 3 years ago, Susan. Within that time, I have built a successful international speaking business. And I became a best-selling author to the book, which became #1 in America, the USA, Canada, and number 2 in the UK, which was Step Into Your Brilliance. And it's an entrepreneurship guide to the power of positive storytelling and social media to position yourself as an expert. And so within the last 3 years, I've become an international best-selling author, an international speaker. I have also built a successful public speaking coaching business, helping people to overcome their fear of public speaking and to help them to build speaking into a business. So going back only a year and a half, I was invited onto a radio show like I am with you today, Susan, and they invited me to be a guest, shared my story, and then opportunities come after that, and I was asked if I wanted to become a co-host of that show in the USA to an audience of, I think, 3 million. And I said yes, started to be a co-host of that show, and that led me up to press, PR and media, what I do today. Now, I have only been doing press and media for the last year and a half, and I have built a really successful press and PR business. I have recently, only announced yesterday, launched my own media and news publishing news outlet, which is called MSP News Global. That can be found at mspnewsglobal.com. And I have also launched TMSP Agency, which is a media and PR agency, and it's premium. So we get you into television in the USA, including Fox, NBC, ABC, CBS, national news. We also do local news as well. And I also help my clients to feature in major publications on Fox, NBC, ABC, financial feeds, industry news sites, major publications, and also radio interviews. So that has been a long journey we have just been on, but that is my story.
Mark, it is such a fabulous story. And it's a story that must inspire so many people when you tell it. I know it will inspire the listeners to awaken your mind magic. And this is what Awaken Your Mind Magic's all about, the law of attraction. And where you say everything is created twice. You realized at an early stage when you had your awakening, after you died and after you came back to life, that this was your chance. And you had a dream and a perspective. And it started off from what you knew as a very talented, creative hairdresser, where you went out and you had the courage to freelance and bring in clients that way. Do you believe that everything that led up to this has created the determination that you would succeed in anything you put your mind to, because you wouldn't give up even as a little boy when you were being bullied?
Totally. Now, when you're going through trauma, when you're having bad life experiences, when you're going through the downs and not the ups, when you're facing challenges, it's very, very easy to be the victim and feel sorry for yourself. But when you look back and connect the dots, you can see it has made me the person I am today. All of those challenges, all of those obstacles, I would not be as driven. I would not have these empowering beliefs that I can achieve whatever I want to achieve. So even though it's hard when you're going through tough times, sometimes they are a blessing which sends you in such a great direction. And when you look backwards, your life would have been totally different if those things had not have happened. So I am really grateful to my past Susan.
When you learn to face the fear and the paradigms that come in to these sort of situations, and you turn that fear of your past that keeps on hitting on you and comes back to you and comes back to you, and you look at it and you push it away and say, right, you know, like the Dalai Lama says, he calls China his sacred friend. And I always refer to past happenings, no matter what they are, but in particular adversity, as your sacred friends, because they are your teachers in life. When you talk about bullying, do you advocate anti-bullying in any charity or any way because of what happened to you and because of your sexuality as well? Because I don't believe that anybody has a right to point a finger at any person, because when they have pure love for another person, even if it's same sex, that is absolutely beautiful. And it's acceptable. To me, it totally is. So how can you express to the listeners that bullying and being unkind to somebody for their beliefs and how they are, what can you say to the listeners about that?
Well, firstly, I speak in schools, and that is my way of serving, Susan. So whenever I am asked to speak at a high school, I say yes. Even if I'm busy, I make time to speak in schools because I believe that is what I have to do. I have to go and serve and share my story of bullying, also drug awareness, mental health. I also speak about body image issues as well. That is my way of giving back for bullying, and I get a lot of satisfaction doing that, because when I have spoken in schools, I just feel like this can really make such a big difference. People hearing a real story and knowing that there is light at the end of the tunnel. Your second question, I would say you always have to sympathise with someone who is bullying, because hurt people hurt people. So it is important to always sympathise. But at the same time, I would say never suffer alone. Never be ashamed if you're a drug addict, if you are being bullied. Never suffer alone. Seek out a friend, a mentor, or a teacher, someone that you can confide in. If that's a family member, a teacher, a mentor, seek some guidance, seek some support. Never suffer alone. If it is addiction that you're suffering with, it's really important to admit that you have a problem yourself first before other people will be able to help you. And I would go back to bullying as well. Remember, bullying is illegal. If it gets to a point where you're feeling suicidal, if it gets to a point where you can't control it yourself any longer, you must go to the police or people with power that can help you, because there is support out there.
Thank you for sharing that, Mark, because I would imagine there are many people who were in a position that you were, where it got to the stage you didn't know what else to do. You needed to take drugs to alleviate the pain. When this happened, did you find a mentor or an institution that could help you through this and support you?
So you're absolutely right. I was very insecure when I was a child because I was just getting bullied at school, bullied leaving school, and that was what I feel led to me being taking drugs, because it was a way out. I was flying high in the sky, out partying with friends, and that was my release. I didn't really get support from other people. I kind of went inwards and just grew up and started researching. Like I said, I read the first Law of Attraction book at the age of 21, and I thought there's a lot in this. And even though I had low self-esteem and low self-confidence, deep down, I always felt you can be someone. So even with all that negativity and not really believing in myself, there was always something there saying you can be someone, you are going to make it. That has always been there. But no, I think because I was hiding my sexuality, I didn't feel like I could seek out and talk about it. So it was a slow process for me, and I just worked on my beliefs, I worked on my choices, and it was a long process. And that's why I like to share what I have learned, to show people that you can actually overcome challenges, and it doesn't have to be such a long process as what it took me.
You're very brave being able to speak about these things. And what led you was this determination after you'd learnt about quantum physics, the law of attraction, and how like attracts like. So you learnt to remove yourself from the people who were pulling you down. You shaved them off and removed them. Like Michelangelo speaks about, people said to him, how do you know what's within that rock of marble or hunk of marble? And he would say, well, I just have to shave it off and find the person from who's within. And that's what you've done. So you're my Michelangelo. My David. And what is interesting about many people in your situation is the fact that you're highly creative, not only artistically creative, but inventive. And this is what's got you as an entrepreneur to where you are, and have the ability to be able to get to write a bestseller book and carry on and say to yourself, hold on here, there's one thing that I've learned and I'm going to do this. And you become very successful. And then it leads on to another thing and another thing and another thing. Tell us about your latest enterprise.
Can I just backtrack a tiny little bit? Because you've touched on a subject that is so close to my heart. When I joined network marketing, Susan, that was really when I started to really focus on mindset, with lots of mindset training and controlling thought. And then I started researching quantum physics. I'm like a physicist.
Hello, brother. I understand.
I have done so much research on quantum physics. I can sit for hours watching documentaries, watching feature films, everything quantum physics. I absolutely love. I find it fascinating. There's so much to the world that we don't see. Everything is connected, and quantum physics proves that. No matter of the distance, no matter how far apart things are, at a deep level, everything is connected, and I'm such a big quantum physics fan. I truly believe like attracts like. I read my first Law of Attraction book at the age of 21, and then quite a few years ago now, a film come out called The Secret and The Secret Book. And I was a big fan of that. It really did help me to really go more in depth with the law of attraction. Now, you fast forward today, Susan. I have just opened up my media publishing site and news site, and I am working with How Thoughts Become Things film, doing all of their media coverage, all of their PR. Now, this film is going to be the next best thing from The Secret. It has all of the original cast of the movie. So I really believe that you can attract whatever you want. I am a huge fan of The Secret, and now I am working with How Thoughts Become Things, interviewing the cast of the movie. So I am interviewing stars of The Secret. I am so excited, and I really believe whatever you want to achieve, you can achieve it. I never thought that I would be doing the things I'm doing today. So I have just launched MSP newsglobal.com, which is a news and media publishing site. It's connected to global press release. So if someone does a press release with me, it's unique because it gets published not only to Fox, NBC, ABC, financial feeds and industry news sites, it also gets published to many, excuse me, it gets published to many independent media news publishing sites, which is really unique. Not other press release services do this. So I also feature clients on the site with amazing articles. It covers business, entrepreneurship, real estate, coaching, health. So I'm really excited about mspnewsglobal.com. I'm also it's only just launching TMSP, Premium News and Media PR Agency. And that is where I feature my clients in major publications, business magazines. I feature them on Fox, NBC, ABC. I do expert position radio interviews, and I also help clients to feature on major television, national and local, including Fox, NBC, ABC, CBS, all the big boys. Also, the major areas of the USA, New York, Los Angeles, and just great coverage. That is where I'm at today, Susan.
Congratulations. I am so delighted. And of course, as a life mastery consultant and a dream builder coach, this is exactly what I teach my clients, and that is to live in the dream and really believe in the blueprint that you create. And as you say, everything is created twice. The thought becomes the reality. no matter what it is. And you, from reading a book and understanding quantum and metaphysics and understanding that it is really going to get you what you want, that little book and that film, you are now dealing with the people who were in that film and are creating this wonderful dream into reality. I'm so proud to be your friend, Mark. I really am. And also your determination that your life as it was is not one to be sad about. It's one to be joyous about. And that's what universe understands. Because after all, we are all energy. And when you have the joyous spirit that you have, and the entrepreneurship and the creativity that you have, that's what the universe understands. And you have this power to do all these things, and you're still so young. My goodness me, what are you going to do when you're older? Oh wow, I'm so impressed. I'm waiting to be there, right there at your at your next big celebration. Oh wow, you're just amazing. You really are.
I would say, Susan, sometimes you feel like your whole world is falling down. But remember, when things are falling apart, sometimes it's because something better is about to come in its place. Just live your life with love, honesty, empathy, coming from the heart, being grateful. There's always something to be grateful from, whether it's the shirt on the back, the air that you breathe, the car that you drive, your pets, your family, your friends. There is always something to be grateful of. Control your belief systems, have positive, empowering belief systems, focus on making good choices, and with repetition, anything can be achieved.
Well, it certainly can be where you're concerned, and your advice to people as well is that no matter what you are, where you come from, whatever circumstance you're in, you are a unique being on this earth at this time, and you're here for a reason. And when you awaken to that and understand that you are here for a reason, and you listen to the quiet inner voice and follow your intuition just like you did, and you still are doing, this is where greatness happens. The magic happens. Mark, I would love you to be able to share with everybody here who is listening how they can contact you. We've spoken about the various, the new .coms. How can they find you? Do you have a website and any of your other social media? Can you let them know? Because I want people to communicate with you and have the opportunities that you've put in place with your incredible experience, so that you can help more people out there.
Thank you so much. I really enjoyed having a conversation with you today, Susan. I've really enjoyed sharing my story with you. I love what you're doing in the world. You have a great energy. I know you come from a place of love and abundance and helping others. And thank you so much for inviting me onto your show today. The best way for people to get me, it's really, really easy. Contact mark.me. That's contact mark.me. with a K. So it's Mark with a K. So contact mark.me. It has all my social media links. People can email me. People can connect with me. Everything is all in one place. That's contact mark.me.
And I advise everybody to contact mark.me very quickly, and you will be out there internationally because he'll be launching you with the PR and everything else that he has created and understands. Mark, thank you for being with us on Awaken Your Mind Magic and telling us your heartfelt story, which I know will uplift and inspire people listening all over the world. You're such a leader. You're a man who inspires me and so many other people out there. And I wish you further success in all that you're doing for people who need help in their businesses. And also, most importantly, by hearing your story and that there's always hope at the end of a very dark tunnel. The stars in the sky shine. And those are the stars of hope. Thank you so much, Mark.
Thank you so much. It's been an absolute pleasure.
Bye-bye now. I love you lots. That's Awaken Your Mind Magic for another week. If anything you've heard today has really impacted you and you want to know more, or you would just like to connect with me, then visit my website, awakenyourmindmagic.com, and reach out for a free one-on-one discovery session with me.
Silver on the outside. Silver on the outside. Gold on the inside. Silver on the outside. Gold on the inside. Silver on the outside.
Tune in next week where I'll be discussing more tools to unlock your dreams and live a limitless life that you would truly love to live. I'm Susan Kathleen, and this has been Awaken Your Mind Magic.